Hello there, fourth grade. This is our language time. Let me get out of the way there. It's Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2020, and we're going to correct our language notes. So it was part of your assignment yesterday in language to write the answers to the notes, and let's see how you did. So get your language notes out. I have mine right here, and I'm going to go over the answers with you. Make any corrections you need to at this time. All right, so the first section says sentences. So we're looking at language notes and review. Okay, fourth grade, nouns, subjects, verbs, punctuation, etc. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. It was emailed to your folks on Sunday night, so you should have done it yesterday, Monday, and now we're going to check it, and then we're going to start studying it. So, sentences, section 1, it says put a check by the group of words that is written correctly or written better than the other group of words. Okay, so it might not be that it's incorrect. It could be. They give us two options, but that there's a better way of writing it, because we know in language we always talk about being as thorough and as detailed and writing our sentences and paragraphs and whatnot as precisely and concisely as we can, so that they could be understood. Okay, it's a powerful way to communicate the written word. All right, so put a check again by the group of words that is written correctly or written better than the other group of words. So we have number 1, A, Miss Bradshaw loves her students and so she prays for them. Or B, because Miss Bradshaw loves her students, comma, she prays for them. The correct wording of that sentence is B. Because Miss Bradshaw loves her students, comma, she prays for them. We're missing a comma in 1A. Okay, so that's incorrect. But 1B is the correct answer. Because Miss Bradshaw loves her students, comma, she prays for them. Number 2, A says helping his grandmother or grandma. B says he was helping his grandmother. Obviously, A is a fragment. It's not a complete sentence. It does not have a subject. Who is helping his grandmother? So B is correct. He was helping his grandmother. He. So you should have a check by the letter B for number 2. Number 3, A says John lived near the park and so he walked there. B says since John lived near the park, comma, he walked there. B is correct. Since John lived near the park, comma, he walked there. A is incorrect because, like number 1, letter A, there's no comma between the words and so. It would be correct if it said John lived near the park, comma, and so he walked there. But there isn't, so it's incorrect. So B is correct. Since John lived near the park, comma, he walked there. All right? Section 2. So these are examples of what will be on your language test. All right? So I've given you a few examples. So number 2, section 2, some examples for punctuation. So it says punctuation. Each of the following sentences needs 2 marks of punctuation. Read the sentences carefully and add the missing marks. Now for some of these, I gave you one of those marks, okay? But for the actual test, there will be 2 missing. But I wanted to give you the directions that are exactly like on the test. So in some of these, if you only found 1 missing punctuation mark, that's okay, okay? I was just giving you an extra boost there. But we'll talk about it. All right, so number 1, it says our class learned the praise song, Our Redeemer Lives. Our Redeemer Lives should be in quotation marks, okay? Our Redeemer Lives should be in quotations because it is the name of a song and you put that in quotations. The second punctuation, which I put that for you, is the period after lives, all right? There needs to make sure that there's a period after there. I put that there for you. So our Redeemer lives should be in in quotation marks, and there's a period after lives. So that's number 1. Number 2, is Gina wrapping her sister's present? Okay, so for the word sisters, it should be S-I-S-T-E-R apostrophe S. S-I-S-T-E-R apostrophe S. It's a possessive a possessive noun, sisters. It belongs to her sister. So it's S-I-S-T-E-R apostrophe S. And you should have a question mark at the end of that sentence. So that's the 2 punctuation marks that need to go in that particular sentence. Apostrophe S for sisters and a question mark at the end. Number 3, Morgan, please erase the board, Miss Bradshaw said. Now, it should be Morgan, comma, please erase the board, comma, Miss Bradshaw said. Okay, and you could word that. I worded it Miss Bradshaw said, but it could be said Miss Bradshaw. Either way is fine. Okay, so Morgan, comma, please erase the board, comma, Miss Bradshaw said. All right, the next section 3, capitalization. Our directions are circle each word that should begin with a capital letter. All right. So the first sentence says, Abraham Lincoln was a great leader during the Civil War. The C in civil should be capitalized. Civil War, both words are capitalized. 2 words, 1 war. So we need to make sure that that is capitalized. All right, Civil War. So you need to circle the word civil. Number 2, Uncle Robert and grandfather have been working in the yard all day. Grandfather should be capitalized in that particular sentence because you're using it as a name. If it's like my grandfather, his grandfather, you don't have to capitalize it in that context. But when it's standing alone, like Uncle Robert and grandfather, it's a proper noun. It's considered a name. He's grandfather. So you should have circled grandfather because that needs to be capitalized. And number 3, Bob's family is leaving for Florida on Tuesday morning. You should have capitalized the F in Florida, so circle Florida, and the T in Tuesday, so circle Tuesday. So once again, Bob's family is leaving for Florida on Tuesday morning. Capitalize the F in Florida and the T in Tuesday. All right, so now let's go on the back. The next section on the top says subjects and verbs. Our directions are underline each verb 2 times, and number 2, underline each subject 1 time. Okay, so our first sentence is, we sent texts to our cousins yesterday. Now, you should have underlined we once, that's your subject, and what did we do? What's the verb? We sent. Sent is your verb. Underline the word sent twice. So we underline the word we once and the word sent twice. Number 2, circus elephants were marching in the parade. Underline the word elephants, okay? That is your subject. You don't underline circus elephant. Circus is an adjective, and we're only looking for the simple subject. We'll talk about adjectives in the next chapter, all right? Are coming up pretty quick. So elephants is your subject. Were marching are your verbs. Were is a helping verb, helping the action verb, marching. So underline the words were marching twice and elephants once. Elephant subject, were marching verb. Number 3, 4th grade listened to Mrs. Dolio's announcements and learned about upcoming events. So our subject is 4th grade, who are what? Listened and learned. And your verbs are listened, underline twice, and learned, underline twice. So your subject is 4th grade, listened, and learned are your verbs. Underline 4th grade once, listened twice, and learned twice. Number 4, turn in your assignments, comma, please. Now, this is an understood you because there's no subject. It's an imperative sentence. We've been talking about that. So you should have the word you capitalized and in parentheses, and your subject is an understood you, and your verb is turn. So you should have a you in parentheses. I'm going to show you mine. You see that? And turn is your verb, all right? And understood you. Now let's look at the final section. It's called proper nouns. Number 1, cross out the words in the list which are not nouns. So words that aren't nouns. So let's do that first. We have these words: January, bee, Samuel, city, beautiful, spring, were, Mr. Jones, student, Dr. Smith, read, and truck. Okay? Now, 4 of those words are not nouns. So put a line through the word be. That's a verb. Actually, a state of being verb. Put a line through the word beautiful. Put a line through the word were. And put a line through the word read. Okay? So be, beautiful, were, and read. All right? Those are not nouns. Okay? Now, for your common nouns, your list should be the word city, spring, student, and truck. None of those are particular things. Therefore, they're not proper nouns. By particular, I mean like we've talked about the name of a book is a proper noun. It's a particular book, or the name of an ocean is a proper noun, or the name of a restaurant, or your favorite action figure. Those will be proper nouns because they are names of particular things, all right? So, common nouns, city, spring, student, and truck. Make sure you didn't capitalize those on your list. Your proper nouns are Samuel, January, Mr. Jones, and Dr. Smith. Samuel, January, Mr. Jones, and Dr. Smith. All right? So those are your proper nouns. So if you missed any of that, you can rewatch this to make sure that you have the proper and accurate notes to study for your upcoming language test, which I listed in your assignment list for this week. I gave you upcoming tests. So be preparing for that, all right? And that's what you'll do the rest of this week for your language. You can put your notes on flashcards. You can test your brothers and sisters. That you can have them test you. You can write your notes multiple times each. That's a good way to learn. You can call any of your 4th grade friends and test each other on the phone, or you can Zoom together, or you can maybe do a FaceTime or Skype. But make sure you practice your notes every day. All right. Good job. Keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.